Well, high-tech homes are an idea as old as the Jetsons, but with the help of modern technology, these fantasy homes have finally become a reality.
Yeah, from unlocking your front door with an app to watering the plants without lifting a finger, your entire home could soon be controlled by your smartphone.
Good.
Move over, George and Judy Jetson. The future of high-tech homes is finally here. From adjusting the aircon to making your morning coffee, with the flick of a finger you can control your home devices simply by using your smartphone or tablet.
If I did want to turn the heating up in here, we go to temperature, it'll show me what the current temperature is.
Don't like the decor? Just change your magnetic wallpaper.
Come off and it's fully replaceable.
And if that's not impressive enough, soon you'll be able to preheat your oven while driving home from work. Start a load of laundry and get a text when it's time to move the clothes to the dryer. Even those late night binges will be a thing of the past with your fridge connected to your scales. Instead of reaching for the leftover ham, your fridge will give you a range of diet-friendly alternatives, all with the push of a button.
Yeah, my fridge telling me what to eat? No, thank you, fridge. International speaker and social researcher Michael McQueen joins us now with more. G'day, Michael. Welcome to the show. Now, you're talking about that in a few years you'll be able to control pretty much our entire home from a smartphone. This is kind of exciting and scary at the same time. How's it work?
Well, the whole concept behind it is a thing called the Internet of Things, and it sort of describes all these devices that we've used for years, but in the next few years will be connected to the web. So to give you an idea, there's about 10 billion devices right now connected to the internet.
Yes.
By 2020, that'll be about 50 billion devices, and many of them are going to be, wearable technologies, sensors in our homes, a whole lot of consumer items we use every day.
It's unbelievable. So let's get a future forecast on what we could soon see in our homes. Let's kick it off with home security. How's that going to change?
Well, I suppose already you can actually log on to your smartphone and check in real time the live feed of a security camera at home. But I guess in some ways that's sort of like scratching the surface. Actually in the UK, the British Gas have just released an app where you can turn on and off your hot water remotely so that you're saving power without heating water all day while you're at work. And so that's sort of the sign of things to come.
You can tune into your security cameras. So, can you tell me why the pool cleaner's in out? Can you tell me why Sylvie wants him in a G-string like that? It's so cold outside.
And who's Sven?
Losing your smartphone.
Yeah.
If I lose my smartphone, can someone tap into my clothes dryer and shrink my underpants?
They could do the washing for you.
Oh, that's all right then. Is that a security issue then?
I guess so.
If your life is right there.
Well, I guess so, because the reality is so much more of our lives are controlled by our smartphones now. But we've already got technology that you can remotely wipe your smartphone if someone steals it or if you lose it. I guess the more important security thing is you think about the fact that all of this technology that's monitoring our lives and making our lives easier is pumping out data. And that data is being watched really carefully by companies. So the question we are all going to have to answer in the next few years is how much of our personal security or privacy are we willing to sacrifice in order to get this convenience?
It's hard because also when everyone else is living a very convenient life, you don't want to be left behind,
absolutely.
so you end up just joining along.
Yeah.
In terms of home appliances, that's what I'm interested in. The fridge that Larry talked about, what can we expect in the home?
Well, there's a cool app that's just a cool device that's just been released. It's a Wi-Fi enabled dog collar that actually allows you to measure whether your dog is getting enough exercise. So it keeps track of that in real time. It's called Whistle. Another one that's really interesting, I think, is an Oral-B toothbrush, which actually measures or monitors how you brush your teeth. So it tells you if you're missing spots. Now, the awful thing is, when you go to the dentist and the dentist says, have you been brushing and flossing like you promised you would last time?
Yes.
And we all go, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They'll now be able to download from your toothbrush, I know, you're brushing over, so there's no hiding anymore.
I don't want to live in this time. Now, even checking your roast, you'll be able to check your roast in the oven at home from your office.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do about it when it's burning.
That's exactly
How does that work?
Well, GE just released a wall oven earlier this year, and it basically allows you to remotely log on, start the oven, monitor the cooking temperature, see where you're up to. Now, when you get home, there's actually a whole raft of other technologies, one called the iGrill. This is cool. It's it's basically a meat thermometer that is Bluetooth enabled. So you can, instead of every 5 minutes getting up from your guest to go and check the oven, while you're sitting at the table, it tells you where the meat's up to, what the temperature inside the meat is, when it's ready to go. And so some of these technologies are going to make life so interesting in the coming few years.
And suddenly it makes a chef not as fancy as they presume to be.
Well, you're going to have to
Manu
make sure
and Pete Evans.
Yeah, that's right. The Manu app.
Yeah, the Manu app, exactly. Now, this is obviously not going to come cheap. What does it cost to deck out a house?
Well, I mean, it depends how smart you want to make your house. But if you wanted to control things like, the opening and closing of blinds, turning on and off lights, stuff like that, anywhere between probably $8,000 and $15,000 you could set that up for. But when we talk about that oven, for instance, that's about $3,500. to buy that GE oven. So, yeah, and as time goes on and these things become more popular, the price will obviously come down.
Good.
So you've got to buy the oven, but then you've got to pay Manu $10,000 a day to cook in it.
Yeah.
Now, going on holidays, it was always about asking the neighbours to maybe look after the cat or the dog or something like that, but there's a bit of some activity in this area as well.
Yeah, there's actually a cool thing I came across recently called Pinter Feed, which is a remotely controlled cat feeder. And so in a practical way, that's sort of cool. But one of the great things, you know that moment when you go on holidays, you get on the plane and you think, for you and I, do we leave our hair straightener on, for instance?
That's right.
You know, yeah, but do I leave the iron on? There's that fear, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Maybe call a neighbour, but really, now you can actually log on and check, and then turn the device off. So, I mean, that's going to be a great thing for all of us who worry while we're on holidays if we should go back to a house or a smouldering wreck.
I travel with my hair straightener, so I don't have a problem with that.
As if you would leave without it.
As if.
When will it all be available?
Well, it's all happening now. I mean, think of wearable technologies. How many people do we know who've got the little wristbands that measure how many steps every day and measures your sleep patterns, calories? You know, but really, if you give you an idea, Google just bought a company called Nest for about $3.2 billion. And Nest are the company that are basically driving all the sensors that are behind this technology. So Google, they know where it's at. And so they wouldn't be investing if they didn't think this was going to be the next big thing. So I guess watch this space.
I can tell you're excited about it, but do you understand how some people are actually scared by this, intimidated by all this?
I think there's the same terror that comes with, you know, the idea of driverless cars. You know, the idea of sitting there and letting something else drive your car. That's, I guess, an example of the fear that comes when your life is controlled remotely. Now, that can be pretty confronting for a lot of people.
Good stuff.
Good one.
Remote control TV hosts in the future anywhere?
Never. Never.
Thank you. Okay, good to talk to you. Great chat. Now, a smart home's the way of the future. Just head to our Facebook page and tell us on your remote device and tell us while your car's driving itself and tell us exactly what you think about modern technology and what you'd like to see. Give us some ideas that we will steal, we'll patent, we'll manufacture, we'll make $1 billion.
We'll retire, we'll move to an island.
Thanks. Good
Thank
to see
you so much. Coming up, your X Factor wrap, Red Foods.
Oh, just got to feed the fish, sorry.
Red Foods over 25s hit the stage, making the other judges very nervous. We're going to show you the highlights in just a moment.